So the whole idea behind doing radio research in Georgia is to create a radio market, to show advertisers that people do listen to radio and who listens to radio when. That's the primary reason. The secondary reason is stations need help in programming. Right now, they don't know what time people listen. They may be putting programs on at the wrong time to reach their target audience. So this will tell us when different target audiences listen to radio and help the stations better plan their programming to reach their target audiences. More people listen to radio in Georgia than they thought. Earlier research showed maybe 25% of people listen to radio on a given week. Our research is showing it's close to 50%. In Tbilisi, Rustavi, it's 50%, Kutaisi. In other places, it's somewhat lower. And so maybe nationwide it's 45%. The second thing we're finding out is that people who listen to radio tend to have higher incomes than average, tend to own cars. Well, you expect that because people listen to radio in cars. And tend to be in the 25 to 34 age range, maybe secondarily 35 to 44. The importance is that right now, if you're an advertising agency, you see TV ratings. If you buy an ad, you know how many people watch it and the demographics of those people, whether they're men, women, young people, high income, low income. You know that. If you buy a newspaper, you have circulation figures. But you're buying radio blind. And we want to change that. We want to put glasses on the ad agencies so they can see radio and they're not buying it blind. In Serbia, we used the research to set up something called the Radio Advertising Bureau. Well, what's happened is in the first 2 years of the Radio Advertising Bureau of Serbia, radio advertising market went up by about 2.5 million euros. That's pretty good. Radio is better than you think. You have instincts, but this is research based on a lot of interviews. So be able to put aside your preconceived notions and try and look at things in a different light through the eyes of the research, and then apply your own intuition and intelligence and knowledge of radio to that research. But keep your mind and your eyes open. The first 3 months, IREX is paying for everything. Then after 3 months, the agencies will pick up their share. And then after 6 months, the stations will pick up their share, begin to pick up their share. And so by the end of the IREX involvement, it should be self-supporting. Now, we've started this type of research, IREX has, in Slovakia, it's still going on. We started in Serbia, it's still going on. You know, we started in a number of countries and it's still continuing. So I think that, I think this is a good model. I try and get the stations together to form a radio advertising bureau so they can work together and as an industry approach the advertising industry and say, here we are, we're better than you think, and we're going to work together to grow our medium together. Radio's changing. Look, when TV came along, everybody said, radio's dead. That was in 1954 in the United States. You know what? Radio is still here. Then, MTV came along, and the first song they played was Video Killed the Radio Star. Not. Radio survived MTV. Now radio is challenged with social media. If radio is going to grow and survive and thrive, it has to embrace social media and not fight it. Every radio station has to be available not only on the FM platform, but on the streaming platform, on phone application platforms. It's got to be available where people are willing to listen to it.